Jamstalk, als je knokken niet meer krijgt uit je kop. Jamstalk, ouwe hoeren zonder rem op de klok. Jamstalk, voor mijn strijders en mijn vechters pas zinnen. Ga lekker zitten en laten we beginnen met de Jamstalk.
Jab. Jab. And I want to go for a straight right. Jab. Okay.
Alright, welcome champs. We're here with the legend, the monster himself, Costello van Steenis, the Spaniard.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, man. Just surviving in this cold weather, but we're all good.
Yeah, well, it's lovely to see you and have you here. I hope we didn't disturb you. I know you were saying that feeling.
Yeah, no, of course not. Of course you never disturbed me. Never, I'm always good.
And how is it at the moment, champ? Like, are you busy with training? You taking it off in the festive season?
Well, life now is like, I'm definitely not, I'm not skipping training. Like, as you all know, my last fight wasn't perfect, wasn't nearby perfect. So we're always trying to get better. Every day, it's like you always want to get better. At the end of the day, it's always you against you. So yesterday I was Costello, now I'm going to be Costello with 1% better. And tomorrow I'll be another Costello with 1% better. Every day is like it's a new day to get that moment to learn more of yourself and get better in the fighting business. So we're always busy.
How do you divide your time between the various martial arts? So do you have set days? Like, for example, we're in a boxing gym at the moment. That days that you're, for example, doing more grappling. Maybe you have times you're doing your kickboxing. Other times maybe you're working pure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, like there's like a month. I try to change these weeks, like a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks straight. I try to do a lot of wrestling. And because I haven't got a fight plan yet, so I'm just trying to get more wrestling in. And then next month, I'm trying to do more stand-up work. The next month from that, I'm trying to do more groundwork until we get a fight booked. Once we got the fight booked, I'm going to sit down with my coaches, my trainers. We're going to check them out, and we're going to start grinding.
When I was watching your highlights and your fights in general, it's really hard to place you. I mean, because the stand-up is incredible, the wrestling is incredible. I mean, even there was one fight I watched where you had a guy in an inverted triangle.
Oh yeah.
Split him open.
Yeah, that was good.
That was insane.
That was
I think
good,
it was your
man.
debut, no?
It was my Bellator debut. Yeah, it was like I think I was 25 at that moment. Now that was great. That was a great debut. I got loads of credit for that. And that was my first Bellator fight and the most bloodiest Bellator fight I had, because this guy, his skull just cracked open and like blood was fuming out of his skull. People would say, "Oh, how can you like that?" At that moment, it's like, I don't know. You can mix it a little bit with like a bull that sees red before him. Well, at that moment, you're just surviving and you just want to finish this guy off. And yeah, after, of course, you're like, "Fuck, man, shit. This guy's got kids. This guy got a family." At that moment, with all respect, I don't give a shit. But after, I'm like, yeah, I know how that feels. I know how losing feels. It feels like shit. So I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say you're gonna be good. You're okay. So then leave him alone.
Yeah, I mean, in most of your fights, you always seem to like have like a nice exit with it. I know that you and Fabian had some heated rivalry. Yeah. Did that continue, or did you guys ever solve that, or is it just?
When we see each other, that's actually quite funny. I don't know. It's actually good. It's actually like a funny thing. Like when we fought each other, it was like that. It's like we were both middleweight prospects in Europe, and he was saying that he's number one. I thought I was number one, so we just fought it out. But after that, I won with split decision. I mean, it was a fucking close fight. But. Yeah, after that we saw each other a few more times. We gave each other some stare downs, just keeping the pan cooking, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So do you think that might be on the cards in the future?
Yeah, definitely. The guy's young, I'm young. We can almost whenever. Hopefully for a title, that would be really good. 5 times 5 minutes. That'd be great. More popcorn.
It was literally, I was just on the train and watching it just again, and like the real chess match that you guys are playing with the long guard and then.
So Fabian was with his right foot in front. So what my game plan was here at this moment. He's really good. He's got a long reach, this guy. So I kind of stand here because I'm gonna get jabbed or rocked in the face with his punches. But if I'm like, here, moving is fucked up. How are you gonna punch someone here? Yeah. And suddenly you got these kicks here, you know, here. And then I get the takedown. Maybe what happens, like, what if you get kicked many times here?
You're gonna lift it up.
You're gonna lift it up, or you wanna not get hit. So when you not get hit, boom, okay, now you're gonna take your kick away because you got enough of that and you wanna protect it. So you're gonna, boom, and then I go in for a takedown, for example, because you wanna protect it, you're here, you cannot attack unless you know it's coming. But at this moment, you don't know it's coming, the takedown. So then you need to be fighting for it.
You're kicking down the pipe. I need to ask you about that. The low calf kicks that you land, man, they look pretty horrible. You did it to one guy and he had a whole welt on his thing.
I did it to the Polish guy. I'm still practicing it even more and more and more. But it's a fucking good technique, man. It's also very painful for myself.
I was gonna ask you about that.
After that, I need to have like a week off, definitely. Put on some slippers or something like that. I can't put on shoes.
But are you landing it with the top part of your shin, the bottom part?
Yeah. Well, you actually land it. You want to give it with the top part of your shin, but because it's MMA, with kickboxing, you'd be the top part of your shin because you can't go close to each other. But with MMA, if you go close to each other, he's going to wrestle you to the floor. So you want to have as much distance as possible. So you're going to kick it with the low part of your shin. And if you're unlucky, what happens also a few times, you're going to hit him with your vreef. I don't know how you say that in English.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, but then one kick of them and you're going to be limping after that fight. At that moment, you don't really feel it, but after you're actually like, oh, give me the ice.
Because you have the adrenaline, I guess.
Yeah, true.
So this at the moment, the Bellator champ is Johnny Eblin, I think. Was he someone always kind of like who was, again, my Bellator knowledge is growing.
Yeah.
So I think I heard his name the first time in the Jorge Masvidal interview, and then, you know, started to see some highlights and put on notice, that type of thing. But yeah, is that a guy that you wanna challenge sometime soon?
Yeah, definitely, man. This guy's really interesting. He's skillful, rounded. He's got a very hard head, let's say that. And I'd definitely like to fight him. If it's for the belt or for out the belt, doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good test for myself also. I don't know. The guy's world class.
He's got a wrestling base, right?
Yeah, he's got a wrestling base, yeah.
How have you found that? Like, obviously, kickboxing, if you're in the Netherlands, kickboxing is like a huge part, striking is a huge part. When you've gone into those kind of transitions and to learning that, with the American guys, some of them, they do that their whole lives, right? So is there like a distinct difference, or do you think with enough preparation you can kind of get it on equal footing? Definitely.
With enough preparation, you can definitely keep it on an equal foot. But like, even if you're not in camp, and you're not getting prepared for a wrestler, because we don't really do wrestling in Holland. Well, not a lot. There are some gyms, but most of the gyms, when you're a little kid, you start doing judo. Judo helps a lot, but then I think wrestling is a little bit better than judo for in the MMA, in the mixed martial arts business. So what would you do? Yeah, if you're out of camp, just keep on wrestling, always be training, always be hungry to learn more and get more knowledge and experience.
When you first started this process, I mean, I don't know whether you had a striking background in the beginning or whether
I had a football background.
Oh, okay.
Playing football.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was where you wanted to go in the beginning?
No, I was just hanging out with friends, just playing football. I don't know, I like sports. I did every kind of sports. I did basketball, then running, I did swimming.
In swimming, do you prefer the breaststroke or the front crawl or the freestyle?
I like what's this called? The breaststroke?
The freestyle.
Yeah, freestyle. I like the freestyle, yeah.
It's quite explosive. Okay.
Yeah.
And how of those sports, if any of them, have you seen any like, have you seen any like crossover drills and things that you can bring into your fighting? For example, in basketball, they pivot.
Nah, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I as a little kid, I was always active. I like doing sports. I don't know if it was useful for the fighting scene. I wish I was. Maybe I was like thinking, I wish I started some fighting sports before I was younger. Well, I did taekwondo. I don't remember how long this was, maybe for a year or something. But I wish I did it for longer years, for more time. But yeah, maybe it's got its positive things, maybe it's got its negative things. Like I think if you start high level sports in a young age, your time zone goes back for like when you're older, you can get more injuries, you know, and it tires out your body. Maybe if you start late, like I did, I started MMA when I was 17, came from football to MMA straight away. And I feel like I'm getting better, stronger every time. And that's, some people, like Rory McDonald, he was like when he turned 29, he was already going down, but this guy was already a professional fighter when he was 16. I mean, he's a legend. But after 29 or something, I don't remember the exact age, but after that, it was just going down. That's a shame.
He's moved on from PFL now. He's moved. I think he was in Bellator, then he went to PFL.
Yeah.
So I was wondering.
Yeah. He went to Bellator and then he went to PFL. But I don't think he's fighting anymore. He's not doing anything with sports now.
I think he's maybe retired.
Yeah.
Would that have been like a fight that you would have been interested in, just as a skill matchup?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like that fight. That would have been a great fight. I trained with Rory McDonald.
Oh.
Really great guy.
Okay.
Trained with him in the COVID times. I went to, at that moment it was called Sanford MMA. It's now called Killcliff, at Henry Hof's gym. Man, these guys are beasts. They're really good, man. Some high level elite fighters over there. But it's like it's like a playground for adults, for adult athletes.
They've got Michael Chandler, Tyrone Spong, loads of
everybody.
And so, do you go to America often, or is that like every now and then?
Every now and then. I went there for COVID times because in Europe they were like a little bit being in a very soft, polite word. I mean, sissies.
Yeah.
So they shut everything down. So I went to Florida for like 5 weeks. I trained there because you could do everything. And the only thing you had to put on is a mask.
Oh.
Well, not even a mask. You can just go put your t-shirt and they let you go in the shops. And yeah, after that I haven't been anywhere after that. That was the second time I went to the States to train at Henry Hof's gym. And it was great. It was great. I'm definitely planning to go back, maybe next month, maybe in January, or after New Year's I'll probably go.
Champ, like if there's some like fights at tomorrow, like 3 or 4 fights that you could, obviously we've mentioned that you want to get a title fight, but also just fun fights for yourself that you'd like to test yourself against guys, for example in PFL and Bellator. Who would they be?
Whoa, that's a good question, man. That's a really good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. Who would it be? I'd definitely like to fight. I'd like to fight Fabian Edwards again. This guy's, I don't know, it's like a chess game, like you said before. It's really difficult to give him damage, but I think I know the exact ways how to do that. He would be an interesting fight again. And if I could choose another two, I'd like to fight Izzy from UFC. Izzy Adesanya. He's not a champion anymore, and I think that would be a great fight. And who else? I'd like to fight Pereira, fuck it. Yeah.
It's funny because I think for the non-MMA fans, well, for some of the MMA fans who didn't really know kickboxing, Pereira wasn't on their radar. But I think if you lived around here or you kind of knew about the kickboxing world, like
he's been in Holland a lot for Glory fights.
For Glory, exactly. Do you think that? Because apparently, one thing I found interesting about PFL actually is that PFL allows its fighters to, fight in other organizations. Mm-hmm. Maybe the UFC is, down the line if they ever considered that. But could you see yourself doing a kickboxing fight, for example?
Yeah, if they pay me money, yeah. Of course I'm not gonna fight a kickboxing match for like 2,000. It's fucking stupid. You can get injured, and it's not good for your brain. At least everybody's got one nugget and we want to protect that thing, And of course with kickboxing, it's more aggressive in the way frying that nugget we got, because of course you get protected in that, but you get 8 counts. You get rocked, you fall on the floor, you get 8 counts, you probably got brain damage at that moment, and you got to keep on fighting. And with MMA, you get brain damage and you get finished. And it's like referee jumps in and finish. So you get 1 concussion, and probably with kickboxing or boxing, you get more concussions.
So I was actually going to ask you, like, one thing I found so interesting, and it's I don't see people talking about this, and I find it very fascinating that there is a distinct difference between MMA striking and, like you said, kickboxing or Muay Thai, where, for example, in MMA it seems like you use a lot more footwork, a lot more head movement because of the shape of the cage and that kind of stuff. So I've noticed that you use a load of different styles, and one thing I particularly picked up on was that you used the high guard in the fight against the taller guy, the Polish fellow.
Yeah.
But I've often heard some people say that, obviously in your case it worked, but some people often advise against the high guard.
Yeah.
What preferred style or styles would you say that, you know, can transition from pure striking into MMA?
Pure striking, definitely the long distance fighting. That's the best thing for MMA, because if you're gonna be fighting like kickboxing, of course there are moments you can fight like this. Look at Eddie Alvarez and Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. I mean, they love to rock, they love to bang, but it also depends against who you're fighting. I mean, if you're gonna fight these guys, yeah, you can show who's a harder fighter. But if you're gonna fight some wrestler that's also good at boxing, you're not gonna be standing here. He's gonna take you to the floor and he's gonna maul you. So you want to get it a good long distance. So you want to use the jab, the straight right. You can use the hooks or uppercuts if you want to go for takedown, but you must not stay in that zone. Like I say, you have 3 zones. Number 1, that's clinching. Number 2, that's when you get hit and he gets hit.
You're not going to hit me here.
And number 3 is where you can't get hit and he can't get hit.
This is distance 2. I'm going to hit you. You can hit me. So what I'm going to do, get into distance 3, I jump into distance 2, I hit you and I get back in distance 3. Or I get in distance 2, your hands are up, and that's when I go down for the takedown. And this is the distance 1 I was speaking about before. The 3 distance, the clinch, 1, or I can take you down, I can fight, I can wrestle you to get the takedown. We can be punching each other in the face from here, you can push me, I can push you. Here I cannot punch you, but with 1 step in, distance 2, I punch you, you punch me. But that's what you need to do, you need to feint. You need to feint when you get into the distance 2. You get 2, boom, feint, boom, jab, and then you go in distance 1.
So you want to start at the number 3 zone and then jump in the number 2 and hit him as quick as possible and get the fuck out of there. Or you start clinching him, or you get out there.
I saw in one of your fights that you kind of used your strikes to set up the clinch. I thought it was really cool. I think it was against Shipman, I believe.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I think so.
There's a part where you kind of, guys are like towards the edge of the cage and you're setting up some strikes, and then I think you like managed to trap his arm. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we were both striking exactly, and then I think I remember I gave him a low kick. I was going to punch him, and he put me to the cage, and he was clinching me from the cage. And instead of trying to put me down, he was like more resting. So I got my opening there to throw down an elbow. I wasn't even really thinking about it. It just happened automatically.
Is elbow something you throw in sparring, like, or is that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I do with pads.
Yeah.
But not in sparring. Fuck that.
Right.
You can proper injure somebody with throwing them an elbow. They can lose a tooth. I mean, these things are fucking expensive.
Have you? And how are you doing injury-wise? I mean, are you fully on the mend now? I saw in some interviews that you had like a problem back in the day.
Yeah, I had some really bad problems. I had a shoulder problem before Fabian's fight. That really messed with my head, because that was there for like 1.5, maybe nearly 2 years. I couldn't even put like 3 push-ups. Yeah, with one arm. Couldn't do anything on my right. Bench press was 60 kilos because the other arm was strong, but this one couldn't put it up anymore. That was maybe 3 or 4 reps. I had to start from 0. But that went all good. And after that, it's also because of the way I was training. I was just giving 100% in every training session. I wasn't here saying, I'm gonna get better. No, I'm gonna get harder. I'm gonna get better by training even harder. That's bullshit. You can train hard, but you need to have this one fixed first. You need to train for a reason, not just train to get trained and get strong. Of course, sometimes you need to do that, but not all the training. That's what happened with me. I thought, okay, I need to train to be a man, or to be a man, to man-wise, you know, and be the strongest. So I got to train as hard as possible, and that's when everything popped out. I tore my ACL, then I got a stomach hernia on both sides, and I got a liesbreuk tear in my groin. Everything, and that just took me out of the game for 2 years.
How have you dealt with that? Like, obviously, did you have times where you kind of doubted, you know, the stability of your joints and that kind of stuff? Yeah,
definitely. No, how I dealt with that was the worst, man. I got it in depression and everything. It was really bad, and depression is a serious thing, man. It's really fucked up, because you can't do anything about it. The only thing you got to do is keep on moving. You don't do stupid shit. But thank God at that moment, I don't know, I got blessed, because the trainer that I met this trainer. He's a trainer, Lee Egger. He trains for Feyenoord, or he's a training and physio coach for Feyenoord, and he told me, okay, I'm gonna look after you, but you're gonna do exactly what I say. If I tell you to walk with your left foot in front first, you're gonna do that. If I tell you to eat, you're gonna eat. He fixed everything. He got me some night glasses before. He said sleep is number 1, is the most important thing, and food is second. Training comes after that. So you're gonna sleep as much as possible. You're gonna wear these night goggles I'm gonna give you. You're gonna eat what I'm telling you, and I couldn't drive a car at that moment. I had a gear car with gears, you know, so I couldn't really do that. It was my left leg. So he came to pick me up every day, sometimes 2, sometimes even 3 times a day, to go to the hot pool to start walking 2 weeks after the operation. He said, because the doctor said after 6 weeks you can leave the crutches. Like, oh, fuck that. After 10 days we're gonna leave these crutches. 10 days. Like, whoa, bro, I cannot break my leg. Yeah, shut up, man. You're not gonna break your leg. Just do what I say. Like, okay. No, but that was really blood, sweat, and tears at that moment. That was actually good, because if it didn't get in, I'd probably be sitting at home, eating shit food and being a little pussy until I get better. But at that moment, I was like, man, this guy is training me. I'm busy the whole day. I'm busy. I'm not thinking, what am I gonna do? When is this gonna get ready? He says, oh man, after 10 months, you're gonna be fighting again. And it was exactly 10 months after I was stepping in that Bellator cage again. And that was like, yeah.
That's an insane story, champ. Like, I mean, it shows how much just listening and putting your trust in someone, how important that is.
Yeah, definitely. I put all my trust in him.
And so currently, where are you training?
Well, I was training a little bit at that when I was injured. A lot at the Feyenoord Stadium. He was taking me there. I was using a lot the boxing academy down here, where this guy Simeon, really good guy. He let me train here all the time. I was giving lessons for him 2 times a week. It was great. And at MMA Vlaardingen, Ricardo's gym, my head coach. But respectfully, you know, I couldn't do sparring. I was just doing push-ups, just some boxing without moving and all that stuff.
Nice. And this is, so both gyms are kind of in the same area, and so
yeah, it's all nearby. It's all nearby.
Nice,
Thank God.
nice.
That's
And
great.
this is like a part of Rotterdam, like right, Vlaardingen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice. I don't fully follow boxing, but I like the shoulder roll.
Yeah.
You've probably seen Sean Strickland. Do you think that the shoulder roll can run in MMA?
Man, well, you see Sean Strickland. Before that, when you start seeing his fights, you're like, nah, that's not gonna work, man. Is he gonna get top 5 or championship round? He's gonna get rocked or something. He got rocked against Pereira, but I mean, he's beating all these other guys, so you tell me if it works. That shit works, man.
I find it interesting because I feel like there's so many aspects of the different martial arts that, you know, transition into each other, especially with boxing. Like, you've got like dips that, for example, level changes. Again, just as a viewer, like, it seems like your level changes are so seamless.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when you're going for the single leg, I noticed you're literally just waiting for the jab and then you're just darting inside.
Yeah, of course. First you want to feed him. You feed him with jabs. Give this guy 5 jabs, man. He wants to give you he wants to punch your face off. Trust me. Maybe with the same jab or maybe with a straight right, but you're going to be ready to jump in that hip of him, to take him down to the floor. You know, you need to pick him to pieces until he gets annoyed. You're not going to knock him out with a jab. Well, sometimes you can, but let's say 9 out of 10 times you don't.
Also, with a single leg, I notice that sometimes you turn the hip inside.
Yeah.
Is that easier to execute that way?
Yeah, it is, because it's like let's say you get table, yeah. You got four paws on the table, 4 things. You take one off, you got 3 left. Well, it doesn't matter which one of them 3 you take down, he's gonna fall. So when you grab his single leg, he's got 1 paw, 2 paw, and then you got yourself, and you're the 3rd paw. So if you take his left paw down, that's the one that you're grabbing, he's got 2 paws, that's yourself and him, but you're the one that's controlling, because you got his leg, and you just need to push him to the side where his leg is out, and then he will fall over. This is fucked up if you grab it like this. Because look, you grab it like this, you only got 1 hand and 1 hand. You got your fingers, is your fingers against my leg. So what I'm gonna do is gonna grab it here, and I'm gonna put my belly in front of you, and be sprawling back here so you cannot grab it.
Yeah, champ. Your brother is also fighting.
Yeah, man, he's got some big news coming. He's got some big news coming soon. Hopefully sooner this week, or maybe later next week. But yeah, he's got a contract signed.
And do you guys train together?
Yeah, definitely. Not always sparring wise, because he's like two divisions lower than I am, 2 weight classes, I mean. But yeah, I definitely helping. Well, when I do sparring with him, of course I'm gonna do it with respect. I'm not gonna. Sometimes he needs to get manhandled, so I try to bully him a little bit. But that's what you have in the family business, you know. It's always been like that since we were small.
Champ, so you've also been a coach. You're also a coach. You teach. And one thing I was curious about. I know that a lot of our listeners are, we just do this as a hobby. We enjoy fight sports. What can we learn about gym etiquette? Because sometimes you have people come in, maybe they're too charged, they're too aggressive. How as a coach, do you view that? How can you help those guys settle in or settle down?
Well, you've got a really aggressive guy. That's not a problem. You just need to put him on his place. And that can be a good way, or it can be a bad way. It can be a way that you beat him up first in a respectful way that he doesn't get injured. But if he doesn't come back, that's what mostly happens, because you got loads of people say, yeah, man, I want to fight, but I got a problem, man. If I start fighting, I'm gonna see red and I get crazy. And like, man, we got another of this guy, so he calls like bully number one. You fight him first, you know. We don't want people like that, because you're not gonna learn anything of him, and he's not gonna learn. You're not gonna learn anything from him, and he's not gonna learn anything from you, because you don't respect the guy. You need to learn from each other if you respect each other. If not, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Also, just for drills, like simple drills, like let's say that you say, I don't know, 1-2 and then takedown, and then the guy immediately sprawls. He doesn't give you a chance to get to your hips, his hips. Sorry, is that considered good practice, or are you both not going to learn anything that way? You will learn, but you're going to learn depending how experienced the guy is. You know, if it's like two amateurs, you need to give him 10% power instead of your 100% in sprawling. Of course, they're going to ask you, but what if I do this? Like, bro, yeah, do this, but then I'm going to do something else what I didn't teach you yet, you know? Yeah.
So the best thing is to learn for an amateur is to put in with some guy that's already at least training a year, or maybe more than half a year, so that he can help him. But he won't learn as much, but he can later learn with somebody that's been training maybe for 2 years.
Champ, how did you get that, if you don't mind my asking?
Yeah, well, I got stabbed. Nah, I'm just messing, man. No, it's really funny, simple story. Yeah, I was little and I got bit by a dog.
Really?
It was a big dog, though. It was a big dog.
If you could go back in time, would you bite the dog back?
Oh, I did. What do you think, man?
Oh, okay, no. Yeah, that's pretty grim, man. How did it just randomly? Or?
Yeah, it was. I was running past his dog, and this dog was sleeping. I don't remember. I was 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
I was running past his dog, he was sleeping, and while I was running, I think maybe he jumped and he got scared, and he looked and he ran after me, because what I heard that he ran after me, and I was running away, and then I put my face like this, got another scar on my elbow because of the dog bite. And he bit me here, and this cheek got off, and a piece of my nose went off. So they had to stitch it, all of that.
Crazy.
But it's not really a story that people would guess, you know? People say, oh man, you got stabbed in a bar fight or something like that. You got bowled.
You can run with it.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I do say, instead of telling the story, just say I got bowled. Nah.
I hope that we see some incredible fights from you in the coming year, man.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope to be busy and active as soon as possible, man. For me, I would even fight on New Year's or even before that. Hopefully 2024 will be an active year for me.
Is Michael Venom Page someone? I think I don't know if he's still in. I don't know what's going on with him, but would that have been a fight that you would have entertained?
Oh, he actually asked me. Well, I mean, it would be great to fight Michael Venom Page, but I know his coaches, and his coaches asked. I've sparred with Michael Venom Page also, and after that, his coaches asked me a few times to book me down for some training sessions with Michael Venom Page to come down to London, and I really wanted to. But every time they asked me, I had a fight lined up.
You had something going on, yeah.
And that was fucked up. And then there was one time I did not have a fight lined up, and that's when I got my ACL torn off. Yeah. And that was messed up. Because I would love to help this guy, man. He looks fucking decent, man. He looks like a funny guy.
One of the best, one of the most entertaining guys.
You interviewed this guy before?
No, I would love to.
London shoot fighters, man. Get him down there.
MVP is really cool, and I think his rivalry with Paul Daly was interesting. Your rivalry with Fabian has been interesting. Gegard you're training with Gegard as well,
definitely.
Right? Yeah,
every week, a few times a week.
You're both in the same weight division.
Yeah, same weight class, so we can always push each other. We can always bully each other. Like it's kind of funny because we see each other every week. Sometimes he's fucking strong like a motherfucker, man. Wait, then I'll just stick to my diet. I'm eating good, not eating shit. And then the next week I see him again, then I get in like, Yeah, you wait next week. I'm gonna come back with supplements. I'm gonna get you down.
So is that like a friendly gym rivalry?
Yeah, well, that's all good.
Nice,
that's all
man,
good.
nice. Awesome. I think you guys are leading the way at the moment with Dutch MMA, to be honest. And so it'll be super cool to see how that all pans out. And I hope that, like, with PFL, that you get some exciting matchups. And like Jake Paul, he's a light heavyweight. Would you fight him?
Like, I think he's a middleweight, bro.
Is he a middleweight?
Yeah, I'd love to fight him, man. Even for the fucking, I'd fight anybody for money.
But Jake specifically is an interesting addition to that division.
Yeah. I don't think they'll just give him some experienced MMA fighter. If they do, they'll probably give him another YouTuber or. I don't know. If I could make a wish, I'd definitely fight Jake Paul, man. It'd be good clout, it'd be good money, and entertaining.
Give me some. What are your cheat meals when you're
cheat meals? What are not my cheat meals? Definitely cookie chocolate chips.
Okay.
I like pizza. I like burgers, but definitely I get these bags of fucking Lay's chips. Then I get some cookies. Everything with chocolate is good. This bag of crisps, chips. I don't know how you say this in English. There's two ways. Lay's bags. I like that. And pizza is always really good, man.
Hold that thought, champ. And I hope your coaches don't get angry with me for this. For your time.
Whoa, chocolate. Madre mia.
I hope you like it, champ.
Whoa, this is good, man. Look at that.
For you and your family.
Family? It's all me, bro. Thank you, man. Thanks. Oh, this is good, man. Chocolate bar and everything. Oh, this is even healthy, so I can start this now.
Anytime, just to say I got a hook up there.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell him anything. I'm just gonna hide in my fucking house and eat these.
Nice. I'm not sure really what else to say. I think that the PFL Bellator merger should hopefully be interesting. I hope that we see many more fights from yourself. Are there do you ever see yourself, doing something other than fighting?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got a career now. Now I'm just focusing on fighting. After my fighting career, I'd like to do something. I don't know what yet. I'm definitely going to do sports till the day that I die, because sports is what keeps you healthy, and not too much sports because that's unhealthy, like what we're doing now. It's not healthy at all. But I like to be active. I cannot sit still. If not, I'll be fat and ugly.
Acting, is that something you'd ever consider?
Oh man, I did acting also. I've been in a series called Sleepers, and in a season I was like the right hand of a mafia.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of cool. I had to kidnap people and all that.
I think you and Yusri share that, right? You're both done the mafia role.
He did that in another series in Mokro Mafia, and I did it in Sleepers. It's like a little bit two of the same things, but different.
Nice.
That was good, man. First of all, I was like, fuck that, man. This is boring as to be 20 times in the car doing it over and over and over again. This is not for me. But then they pay me, and I was like, oh fuck, this is good.
I think we should see you in that series as well.
Definitely these.
If they make a new one, we need to see.
We need to see these. You need to see these on the internet. Narco Seeds, man. Great stuff down there.
Yeah, champ. I'm not sure what else to say, but it has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And if there's any message that you want to say for your fans,
well, you guys see this? #1 seeds in the industry, Narco Seeds.
Jamstalk, als je knokken niet meer krijgt uit je kop. Jamstalk, ouwe hoeren zonder rem op de klok. Jamstalk, voor mijn strijders en mijn vechters pas zinnen. Ga lekker zitten en laten we beginnen met de Jamstalk.